Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Dr. Terry Carell Reid pens book. Since being introduced to the Jamaican public in 2005 as the country's representative in the Miss World pageant, Terry Carell Reid has been mainstream on the local media landscape. A Jane of all trades, Reid has evolved from the beauty pageant stage and now wears many hats including host, motivational speaker, and now author. On Tuesday, Reid announced that her first book, Brand New, will soon be available to the public. Declaring the book as a milestone, the multifaceted personality is hoping to share her expertise on how one can be intentional about their brand. If there is one thing I have learned on my brand journey, is that you have to be responsible and intentionally about brand new, she stated in the YouTube announcement. I did a thing, she said, holding up a copy of the book as she introduced Terry Carell, the author. Reid said she is grateful for the support from her fan base, whom she said has watched her evolve over the years. She also stated how proud she is of her personal development, even as she anticipates more growth. There are so many milestones that I am grateful to have achieved along my journey, despite the bumps, roadblocks, and detours in the road, she wrote. But all in all, I am proud of who I have been all these years, and I am curious and excited about who I am becoming. Cheers to the different versions of me coming up throughout the years. Brand New is now available for pre-order at terrycarell.com/brandnew. Physical copies of the book will be available on May 28. Man hit by truck in Runaway Bay dies. An unidentified man died after being mowed down by a motor truck in Runaway Bay, St. Ann on Sunday. According to the St. Ann police, the incident reportedly occurred about 7 p.m. Reports are that the man allegedly walked into the path of the vehicle which hit him. He was pronounced dead at hospital. Investigations are ongoing. Silky gunned down at home in Runaway Bay. Police are probing the fatal shooting of a man at his home by a lone gunman in Crooked River in Runaway Bay, St. Mary on Monday. The deceased has been identified as 47-year-old Kenneth Shaw, otherwise called Silky. The police corporate communications unit reported that about 8 p.m., Shaw was about to leave his home when he was pounced upon by a lone gunman who opened gunfire hitting him. The police were alerted on their arrival. Shaw was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. Investigations are ongoing. A total of 16 persons have been killed in St. Mary since the start of the year. Indicom serves notices on 8 soldiers for statements in Denham Town killing. The Independent Commission of Investigations Indicom says it has served on 8 members of the Jamaica Defense Force JDF notices to provide statements in relation to the fatal shooting of a man by a soldier in Denham Town, Kingston last week. Indicom says the soldiers are also required to attend its offices for interviews this week. A detailed initial account of the incident was provided by only one member of the team. No account has been provided by the soldier directly involved in the shooting, said an Indicom spokesperson in a statement on Monday. In the meantime, Indicom says the weapons of the soldiers have been processed and sealed for submission to the ballistics lab for testing. The body of the deceased was also processed with investigators photographing it and swabbing the hands before the body was sealed in a bag pending a post-mortem examination. Indicom Commissioner Hugh Faulkner and other members of his team visited Charles Street in Denham Town where the incident happened on Saturday. Member of Parliament for Western Kingston Desmond Mackenzie and the Mayor of Kingston Delroy Williams were also there. 32-year-old Horin Glenn was shot dead by a soldier on Saturday afternoon. Relatives said Glenn intervened in an altercation between the soldier and another man. However, there are claims that Glenn was shot after he tried to disarm a soldier. Indicom is asking persons with information to come forward. They can contact Indicom by calling 876-968-8875 or 876-968-1932 or 1-888-991-5555. Persons can also send messages, images, videos, and voice notes to Indicom WhatsApp number at 876-553-5555. Indicom says it will provide additional grief counseling and victim support as required. Since Saturday, residents have been protesting daily. Denham Town High School 7th graders treated to evening of excellence. Fine dining was the order of the day as teachers at Denham Town High School in West Kingston treated grade 7 students recently. The school's meeting room was transformed into an area for fine dining for the students, some parents, and teachers. From the red carpet, which graced the entrance of the dining room, to tables decorated in white and gold, the exposure given to the young students was welcome. The students were treated in a 3-course meal and serenaded in between by Simmons Christon and her student of St. George's College and Ramon Cox of Dumpont Primary School. The event, which was the brainchild of the vice principal of the lower school, Novelet Christian, was executed by the grade 7 coordinator Romaine Spencer and grade 7 form teachers as part of an initiative to improve the psychosocial skills of the students, especially with the recent resumption of face-to-face classes. Spencer, who was happy after witnessing the seamless execution of the day's event, told reporters that the dinner was a human task for his teachers as they used the social curriculum to mold their students. Guest speaker Marco Dean Lambi charged the students to step out of their comfort zones under the theme Unmasking Your Potential, Transforming Tomorrow's Future. Lambi's theme was continued by Justin Duncan, Education Officer, who also urged the students to strive to unmask their potential. Duncan also gave credit to the organizers for what he said was their continuous efforts to scaffold young, impressible minds. The evening ended with an award ceremony for teachers and students. Some students were recognized for their outstanding performance in academics, while those in the school's Senior Star program were awarded for the improvements they have made in literacy. The teachers were recognized for their invaluable contributions to all facets of the students' academic and social improvement. Plan to track help St. James homeless. Montego Bay Deputy Mayor Councillor Richard Vernon, Jamaica Labour Party Montego Bay South Division, has outlined a plan to deal with the increasing number of homeless people on the streets of St. James. This program will include a GIS, Geographical Information System mapping system, Vernon told last week Thursday's meeting of the St. James Municipal Corporation. The purpose of this is to better monitor the locations where homeless persons would frequent so we can have a better understanding of the trend, said Vernon. Areas now being occupied by the homeless, he said, include underneath bridges, inside abandoned vehicles, and on the streets of Montego Bay. Vernon noted that someone is categorized as being homeless if he or she lives on the streets for more than 30 days. My latest information shows that at present, there are 235 persons homeless, and some still might not be captured, he said. According to the deputy mayor, there are some measures in place to provide support. At present, there is only one shelter located in Albion St. James, which is able to house 90 persons. In addition to that, the ones on the streets get 2 meals a day every day. They have a place to shower and they get clean clothes, he said. Vernon told the meeting that a lot more needs to be done to result in the homeless contributing in a meaningful way to society. We want to partner with HEART to provide skills training. We want to build capacity so that the homeless can reintegrate into society, to involve entities to provide employment, he said. We seek to engage the Committee for the Upliftment of the Mental Ill, the National Council on Drug Abuse, and other agencies that deal with people who are homeless or who have fallen outside of the social structure, he added. We want to see the creation of transition facilities that will help us to help the homeless persons to move from a state of homelessness to be reintegrated into society as employable and productive citizens. So we are working effortlessly, and of course, our chairman is here, and he's very passionate about the poor and persons who are facing these types of atrocities. We'll be seeing more homeless persons getting the type of assistance they need and transitioning out of their current reality into uplifted citizens, said Vernon. Mayor moves entertainment zones in Manchester. Mandeville's first citizen believes now is an opportune time for the proposed development of entertainment zones in Manchester. Mayor Donovan Mitchell's suggestion followed recent restrictions imposed by the police on entertainment events in 6 communities that are prone to violence. People have other ways of going around the situation, and this would give rise to the matter of entertainment zones as to where they will be, because this is now a ripe time for us to look at the zones for the parish, Mitchell said at last Thursday's meeting of the Manchester Municipal Corporation. 4 of the communities, Comfort, Broadleaf, Heartsease and Newhall, are within the Royal Flat Division represented by the Mayor. The other 2 communities are Mayday and Greenvale. Head of the Manchester Police Superintendent Lloyd Darby told Manchester Chamber of Commerce Town Hall meeting at Manchester Golf Club on April 7 that the communities are plagued by violence and, as such, the police will not be accepting applications for entertainment activities in those areas. But Mitchell said he has been getting calls from residents and promoters from his division for the hosting of entertainment events. I have not had a one-on-one with the superintendent in terms of what would have given rise to this, but one would have to understand that they would have had the statistics to determine whether or not such events will be allowed to be held, said Mitchell. The situation, though, is that I have gotten some calls from these areas, and I have asked them to just hold strain and to just understand, he added. He said a plan is being devised to have greater social work in the communities. We are going to be having a meeting with the Social Development Commission, SDC, because I think the situation that is giving us this problem is crime, and I think there is a need to have some social intervention in these communities, he said. We need to have the Justices of the Peace, Northern Caribbean University, more of the police and the citizens sitting down to have discussion as to some of the things which are happening, he added. He said other communities which have not been blacklisted have, in recent weeks, seen murders at events. Georges Valley is not in, but in one of those areas, one gentleman was fatally shot at a candlelight ceremony they were having for another person, and so we have to be cognizant of people's lives, he said. If you're looking in some areas that it is happening, innocent people get shot, and even by pastors, and so the police would have been able to look at these statistics, he added. He said there is unease in the Broadleaf area, as some people are complaining that the entire community should not have been restricted, but this was done because of the problems in nearby Brownstown. He said despite the restrictions, people have generally not adhered to the measures. The truth is that a number of people have been having events even during COVID-19 that had no permission, he said. Added the mayor, some people have asked if they can host day events instead of night events, because I think it is a problem of the night events that is creating the issue. We will have a meeting with the police and the SDC and the chairmen of these communities' development committees to look at the way forward. Meanwhile, Mitchell said over the last 2 years, during the restrictions under the now lifted Disaster Risk Management Act (DRMA), the local municipalities' revenue fell dramatically. During the COVID-19 period, revenue fell in those areas by about 90%. It will still impact, but we have to look at how we manage it because, as we said before, the lives of the people would take precedence over money, he said. He dispelled claims that communities are being stigmatized as violence-prone area. He pointed to a study done by social anthropologist Dr. Herbert Gale, who highlighted poverty and domestic disputes in communities within Manchester that are prone to violence and have some serious social issues. 31 new COVID-19 cases, 1 more death reported. Jamaica on Monday reported 31 new cases of COVID-19, bringing total number of confirmed cases reported on the island to 129,312. According to the latest statistics from the Ministry of Health and Wellness, the country also reported 1 more virus-related death. The death toll since the start of the pandemic now stands at 2,932. Of the newly reported cases, there were 11 females and 20 males, with ages ranging from 1 day to 108 years. The cases were recorded in Kingston and St. Andrew 9, St. Anne 1, St. Elizabeth 16, and Westmoreland 5. Meanwhile, the latest victim is a 68-year-old male from St. James who died in March 2021. The country also recorded 8 new recoveries, bringing the total number of recoveries to 82,693. The positivity rate in the latest round of testing was 6.4%. There are 299 confirmed active cases on the island. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.